I really wanted to go through with you exactly what's going on down there in Washington, not in terms of the president announcing things, but if you're representing a company, what are you doing now? Who are you going to on either the steel and aluminum side of it or now the 301, the other product?
Yeah, there are obviously a lot of actors involved in this here in D.C. You've got some of the agencies involved. The U.S. Trade Representative's Office is a lead agency on a lot of this, the Commerce Department. But then some of it is run straight out of the White House because of how important this is to the president and to his team. And then, of course, there's Capitol Hill, and you see a lot of lobbying already starting of individual members on Capitol Hill and them sort of reaching out to the administration to protect their constituents.
So talk for a moment, for example, on the steel and aluminum, which seems a little more developed at this point. According to the statement out of the STR and the president himself, I understand, it says, okay, if you want to make a pitch that your company should be exempt from this, as a U.S. company, you have to say either you can't get it from U.S. producers or there's a national security interest in it. What is the process? Who do you make that pitch to? Is there a form? What are the standards being applied?
There are actually a set of forms. So the steel and aluminum process is quite developed, as you say. There's a set of information that the Commerce Department asks you to provide, and it's very detailed information about how much of these products you use, which exact product, what are you using it for, who is making it here in the U.S., if anybody. If somebody is making it in the United States, what's the reason that you can't actually be using that U.S. aluminum or steel and that you have to import? So there's a lot of information you have to provide. There is a process set up where they will review these requests for exclusion from the tariffs on a rolling basis. So one of the things we're expecting and we're starting to see is companies getting ready to submit these exclusion requests. And that will probably continue for weeks, months to come.
Now, but can I ask you what happens when we have even a temporary exclusion at the country level? What does that mean for the companies within? What does it actually mean? Do they continue with the negotiations, with submitting the form requirements? How does that work? And particularly for subsidiaries outside of the United States, but obviously in a United States company?
Yeah, it's a good question, and it's a question that goes back to some of this uncertainty that now exists, right? Because yesterday, Ambassador Lighthizer said that several countries would be excluded, and then pretty soon after, it became clear that actually those exclusions for imports from certain countries might only be temporary, might only be for 40 days or for some shorter period of time, and then they would be reviewed again. So for companies that are importing product from those excluded countries, the question now will be, what do you do? Are you actually better off still submitting a product-specific and company-specific exclusion request as well? Because if you don't do that, then 40 days from now, you might be in the same situation again.